Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 3. Check.
I could also just put it close to us, like under us. Leave it like that. Can you try it?
Hello? Check, check, check,
Oh,
check.
much better.
Okay, good.
Oh my god, I got therapy at 7. It's okay. That's fine. She'll understand. Can I? See? 7 o'clock.
Do they like? Does she get mad?
No, she's understanding. She works with inmates. So she always calls me, when I'm calling with her, she's always like, "You're the least of my worries."
That's so funny.
I'm like, okay, I'll figure it out. She's kind. She's a good person.
Oh, you canceled too late?
Yeah.
This
That's fine. It's been within an hour. How do you feel?
I feel good.
You feel good?
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay to be nervous.
I'm a little nervous.
I just told everybody I'm going to therapy.
My first memory of Alberto was, we went to the same
Educational program.
And I was like in 5th, 6th grade, and he was a TA. I think that's where you were.
Yeah.
And it was during this elective where we had to do a lot of physical activity, and I'm not an athlete myself, and I do not like sweating or any of that. So I was trying to get out of it so badly, and then I was like, oh, maybe he's cool. And then I went up and I was just starting to talk to him. I was super annoyingly outgoing when I was younger. No longer like that anymore. Yeah, that was my first memory, and he just let me slack off through the rest of the class, which I don't think it was on purpose. I think I was just talking his ass off, and it was fine. But yeah, that was my first memory. And then we have kept in touch, and now we're here.
I was annoying you when you were younger too, because I was always keep me up with what you're doing. And now you're at the top of
where I'm annoying you.
No. I feel like
no, there's no better person who I would want to do this conversation with. I feel like throughout the journey of what this has all been, there's been a lot of turbulence and a lot of noise, and he has helped me throughout all of it. And at first it was more of a thing where I didn't even know where I was going with it myself, so I took it less seriously, and he was the one pushing me, and then now I'm the one nagging him about questions and all the time, but he's always there for me, so I'm really excited to see where this is gonna go and get some answers. Yeah.
What is your artist name?
I go by Sofia RB. I was in 5th grade. I was at a sleepover, and we were asking questions, and it's so funny because I talked about this at the other interview too, but then I remember I was I think I said someone else brought up that question, but I'm pretty sure I was the one that brought up the question of me being what would you guys your artist name be, and just because I wanted to come up with one so badly, and then I came up with that one, and it just stuck. People think it means more than it does. It's just my last 2 names. I'm not gonna say my full government name, but I have 2 last names, a very long Latino last name, so I just condensed it in that way. But people think it means the genre, R&B, or I don't know. People come up with stuff.
Really? You've heard that?
Yeah. People are what, I don't know. But I haven't found a reason to change it. Yeah. I really like the one name thing, but the Cher and Beyonce thing, but there's too many Sofias, so I think we'll stick with Sofia RB for now.
Now that you're this old, do you wish you changed the name or not?
This old.
Sorry.
No.
5th grade. Oh my god.
Do I wish I could change it now?
Yeah.
No. I think that there's something really fun in still presenting myself in the way that I thought I would at one point if I were to become what I am now. So I think that if it ever got bigger, it would just be more of an honor to
keep it.
Yeah, to keep it. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
When did you first start making music?
I started out at a local women ran studio here in SF.
Okay.
And They have worked with some pretty big people. Tori Moa, Beyonce's band, have recorded there. Then I started going, and when I turned 14, I tried to get an internship there because I just wanted to be involved in whatever way possible, because even just being at the studio felt like it was somewhere where I needed to be. And I started researching music at a really young age. I kind of had a really good concept of what recording music looked like, and it always, like, obviously, like, the bigger names always recorded in, like, these really big studios. So I always looked up to that, but because I knew that I couldn't go to the studio before I did go to the studio, I would use, like, Audacity. I never had I never had access to a MacBook until recently. So during that time, it was mostly audio engineering, and it was just mostly like how like those basics work. And then from there, after I went on to Studio X in Oakland. Okay. And there I wanted to expand more on music production, which I wanted to dive back into the creative side of everything, because when I was sitting at these sessions during like the audio engineering portion of it, even if I was shadowing, the need to put in opinions or like want to like raise my hand and like be of some sort of importance creatively in that room. Okay. And nice. I felt like I was lacking that, and so I wanted to at least try to dive into music production, and paired up with a mentor there who was more lenient towards vocal production. Yeah, they asked her to do a project for the internship, and she had heard me sing. Like, sometimes I would do covers, but I would never really take it seriously or like ever plan on releasing them or anything. Okay. She knew that I could sing, so she asked me about it, and then she was like, oh, like, let's do like a song, like just try to explore that. Like, it doesn't hurt, especially because it's also like I'm gonna be able to sit in on my own session and like really see how that's mixed, and like it would feel a lot more personal. And like Missing You ended up coming from that, which was my first single. And
what year is this?
This was 2023. I started the internship summer of 2023, and the single came out in November. I really wasn't planning on releasing it that soon, or even maybe at all. At the end of the internship, we performed our pieces, and one of the DJs that worked at Studio X happened to also be the DJ at 99.7. Right after the performance, he grabbed me and he was like, I really want to play this. Do you have the files for it? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. The release was a little more rushed than I would have preferred it to be, but there was no complaints in that sense, just because like being on the radio was very rewarding, and that's not something that I would have ever even thought possible. Was your preference like to put together a project, or was your preference to... Yes. Okay. I mean, ideally, but I never really thought about going into the artist route. Because I never asked for feedback too. For the longest time, I feel like that's one of my biggest things, where all of my work was kept to myself. And because I just didn't think I was... I don't know. I mean, because I never got feedback, I never knew if any of my stuff was good. So it was just this cycles of just that and a lot of self-doubt. But ended up releasing it. It got a great response, and from there I was kind of in the limbo of whether I wanted that single to be a part of a bigger project, or if I just wanted to start a bigger project. Creatively, I needed to let myself breathe in order to really execute the vision that I wanted to from the jump, because Orbit is not an idea that I just came up with 2 years ago. This I need to send you the original artwork picture, but when I was in Women's Audio Mission, I thought of this concept up, and I had an artist sketch up a picture for me for the cover, and it was going to be an EP. It was going to be called Orbit. The meaning behind it is much more different than what it was before, but I knew that if I wanted to develop it, it had to be true to myself now, and it had to be true to what my vision is now. And it took a long time, but that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. When you were younger and you were making the cover for Orbit, what was your intention then?
I guess I've just always had big dreams, and I've always been a very visual person where I envision a lot of things, and like even if I didn't have the recording supplies to record a song, I would still record it in my own means just to like have it out of my body. And have it be concrete. So I guess that's what I did with the visual as well.
Do you think it translates into now, or do you think I think we both talked about this too, like, you know, it's something that you worked a couple years ago and now you're here now it's a real thing. Has the meaning changed to you? What do you perceive it now as, like, as an adult?
So Orbit then, I mean, I've always been a big science space nerd. If there was one thing that I liked about school, it was probably that. What my process is just visuals in general. Like
okay. Okay. I'm taking it away from you.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, like, I guess, like, for example, when I've written music in the past, I kind of, like, I'll sit here and I'll work on the music here, and I'll be like, what does that sound like? It sounds like you start with, or have a visual representation of what you want that to sound like eventually.
I mean, at first it was just like I liked space a lot, and then I was trying to like make that into a concept, because visually, like, when I connected the music to the visuals, I saw more of a theme and a concept there. But I didn't know what that was, and I think now it has more of a meaning and more of like a, like, for me, what I envisioned was, I used to watch a lot of space movies growing up, and when they first tried to send someone up into space, they couldn't send them, the goal was to send them to the moon, but they couldn't send them to the moon. They had to do an orbit run around Earth, and they had to do the math in order to send the spaceship back into Earth and out of orbit. So the theme of this album, which is like a lot of cycles and repetition, but also movement in those, and growth in those cycles and repetition, it connects to the original theme, just because I came back to this idea, and I always come back to the music, and I feel like that's also what the theme of this album is. Whether it's like, I mean, there was a lot of sacrificing, that there's been a lot of like things that have happened throughout like the journey of even making this album, but I think at the end of the day I'll always come back to it, and that's kind of how I would say it would relate to the original concept.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You seem motivated to continue and motivated to like do more, and like, how do you feel like this project sets you up for the rest of your career? Is there a song that represents like where you're at right now, or like where you're at in the future? Well, where you want to be in the future?
Probably Time and Space, because that song, it starts out very slow, and then it takes this like very unexpected switch, which I think is the entire EP, because even with Orbit, it starts out like a very cinematic, spacey, slow kind of neo soul track, and then it goes into like a very industrial, which is Turbulence. And I did that on purpose, and I think because I wanted to keep people on their toes in that way. When I think about making a song too, I always think about performance, and I think about the live aspect of what that's going to look like. So even for Orbit, even if it's a slower song, I always think of what the production or like the visuals or like the lighting is going to look like. But for Time and Space, I made it a mission and a goal to do something that connects more with what I listen to on a daily and what I gravitate towards, which is like very upbeat. Like if I would play this in a crowd, I would want to see people jumping and dancing. Like I want to see the energy. It goes into like this reggaeton like type like transition into the beat, where there's more of like a reggaeton influence. So I think that really shows where I am now. I want to keep the energy, but also keep people on their toes in a way where like you don't really know what's coming. But I want to keep experimenting. I want to keep exploring different genres that I haven't touched on yet.
Yeah, I feel like at least for both of us, we share similar idealisms when it comes to like creating projects, and like I also struggle with like trying to represent the sounds that I'm hearing and like the ones that are inspiring me at the moment. But I think like, you know, again, I think from an outsider's perspective, I feel the same way when people talk to me about my stuff, and I think it is a great representation of what you have shown me that you listen to, let alone knowing you for a long time, like knowing that that is your inspiration. It makes sense. It manifests in a way that I can kind of pick out where you have heard these sounds from. Is there like a sound at the moment that you're listening to that you really like, that you want to put people on real quick?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Student Archives, if you guys don't know who that is, she's amazing. I mean, she plays violin, she produces her own music, she has an amazing vocals.
Did I ever tell you that I used to say Sudden Archives? Which is now public. Yeah, because I didn't know what it was. So I would say Sudden. Yeah, and so someone was like, Sudan. I was like, no, not really. It's not quite Sudan.
No, I'm sorry.
It doesn't roll off the tongue as Sudden. And also, I don't know, sorry. Actually, Archives, as a last name, like Nia Archives, it's like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
But you're right. I do think that, like, that's... yeah, she's extremely talented.
Oh, she's insane.
Can I ask you about... So, I know that part of the reason why maybe this EP has taken a while is also just because of logistics. It's not necessarily just everything is like this creative roadblock, but you know, I think part of what we both struggle with, I think, is vulnerability, and I think that we both have found a way to lean into it. We have done it. It's not the fact that we don't do it. Now it's the sharing part. So now that this EP will be out for everybody to listen, what will that mean to you? And what do you expect others to think? I mean, not think, but maybe understand more about you.
Right. I have had this conversation with you plenty of times, but I feel like it's definitely, in the way that it's my biggest dream, it's also my biggest fear. I struggle with knowing that when I make music, my inspiration comes from me connecting with the music personally. So it's never not going to be vulnerable. Having that presented to the world when I think obviously my closest friends know some of like the sacrifices or all of the stuff that has like transpired throughout the last couple of years, but it's been hard to even complete the project, and I feel like me finishing it was proof to myself that I'm always going to come back to it. Yeah, it's hard, especially when I know, I mean, it was hard to even like write and finish these songs period. The thing that kind of contradicts that and like keeps me more sane is knowing that once it's out, it's also no longer mine. It's everyone who's listening to it. So it's more about their experience and how they connect with the music than my experience at that point. Yeah, it's gonna be hard, and I know that the more I do it, it's gonna be easier to get that feedback, and like why I do it is for people to like listen and connect with it. So I know there's more power in like relating to something and like connecting to something than there is feeling like someone is going to dissect it.
Just like their interpretations of it. Yeah.
Right. The time that it took was not always in my control, but at the same time it made it much more valuable because it all somehow ended up playing back into the theme of the entire project. So it all ironically like tied together.
Yeah, it's really strange. I think we, as artists, either it's like we're the roadblock, the people who are interpreting it are the roadblock, how it's going to come off is the roadblock. What I was telling you earlier was like we both have two different mediums where I get to hide behind instruments and you get to hide behind, well, virtual instruments. You get to hide behind not much, really. I mean, it's really just like the production and then your part. I recently just heard an interview that said the same thing, and they're like, that's completely out of our control. What I'm known for, what the sounds are, what the story is out of my control when it comes to interpretation. And so hearing what orbit means to you, are you waiting for people to align with the same things that you have in your head and how you've written it down, or like, you know, or have you like allowed yourself to be like, you know, like this is what it is. Now you've told people what it is, and so you know.
I mean, I think something that ties into even what we were just talking about and like the vulnerability and everything. I think that a big issue and a big struggle that I've had while making this is even when writing the songs was. I knew I had a vision, and I knew that I wanted to get a point across very badly, but I keep losing my train of thought. Fuck. Okay.
Is it the camera?
Yeah, I think I keep looking at the camera and then I keep like no, okay. Wait. So,
then honestly, I have the lens on there that and it's just a mirror.
Yeah. I have a point that I want to get across very badly, but at the same time, I never know if it's going to convey in the way that I want it to, because when I'm writing, a lot of it isn't very straightforward. It's it makes sense to me. And I think that's also the beauty of like what I gravitate towards in songwriting as well, is things that are like very general in terms of like people can relate to it, but it can also be niche enough for you to be able to put your own experience on it. Yeah. Emotions and feelings are universals. It's just your situation that's different. And I need to just let go of like wanting to have the control of getting my point across and just let it be what it is, and let people kind of take their own ownership on it and like give it their own definition, and whether that definition is good or bad, like it's going to be rewarding at the end of the day because someone's connecting to it. So I think that has been my struggle, is just letting that go. But I'm excited. It's a good introduction to what I'm gonna grow on, and I hope it's enough for people to stick around.
It will.
Hopefully. We'll see.
But I'll also be the same way. I would also be like, hopefully. Yeah. So I understand completely. What is the one song people have to listen to?
Ooh.
They can't skip it. They have to go the whole way through. We were just talking about stats.
Well,
and like
Time and Space is the last song for a reason, but I think the way to listen to the EP is alphabetically, because everything that you think I didn't think about, I thought about. So even the order of it is really special. The order of it also tells a story if you pay close enough attention. Time and Space is the last song for a reason. So let's listen through the whole thing, but make sure to get to Time and Space. Even just like going back to like 3 questions ago. But if I would have to say a song that represents me now, besides Time and Space, probably Turbulence, just because it's the last song that I recorded. And this specific song is about anxiety. I made sure the production was very heavy on not only the title of the song, but what I feel like sonically that sounds like to me. And it is about anxiety, but it also has like a very like kind of confident feel to it, which is like where I find myself at right now, because I have a lot of anxiety about releasing this project, but at the same time I know that in order for me to have been at where I am right now, it took so much growth, and so I feel like I'm confident in the space I am to continue growing, and I think that's what that song represents. So whatever the listeners gain from it is good with me, and I just appreciate the year regardless.
I'm extremely proud of you.
Thank you.
I continue to just be in awe of what you do, and I continue to follow what you do, whether you bring it to me or I demand it. But you know, I think like there's a lot to look forward to with this EP. There's a lot to listen to. There's a lot to learn about who you are from this EP, and I'm only excited for others to experience it in full. You have a lot to look forward to. I know it already. I can see it. I know that literally, I mean, listen, it's August 27th. So between now and when you actually put the EP out, I'm gonna be waiting. I'm gonna be waiting on the sidelines, waiting for you to put it out. I'll be right there. Is there anything else that you want to mention? Is there anything else that people should know?
Shit, we ain't stopping anytime soon, so stick around. More than open to feedback now, I promise you. And I really, really appreciate it, and it's what has kept me going up to this point. Like the connection that like people have had through for the last few tracks that I put out. It means more than anything ever, so I really appreciate it, and I hope that even though this EP may not be something that people expect, it's something people can learn to enjoy and gravitate towards. So that is all.
And on that note, I miss therapy because I could hear the bell.
I'm sorry, Asia.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, I don't know if that has to do with like therapist confidentiality, but I don't think she'll see this. But if she does, Asia,
I love you.
I told you I was creative, so this is your warning. Thank you for choosing me.
Oh my God, please, you're the best ever, and thank you so much for taking the time and for listening and for always being there. And yeah, thank you guys.
Of course.
Yay!
There you go.
Clap.
Why did my boss pay me $9? Okay. I was just doing good.
That's a good tip.
Jesus Christ.